Welcome back everybody, and today we're going to make a simple doodle jump style game. So here's my finished product already, just to show you what we're going to be making, where you've got a little dude who can run around the screen, get a little bit of points on there. It spawns platforms dynamically. Maybe not the most perfect way of doing it, but yes, quite an easy little one to do, and hopefully you enjoy it. So first things first, let's get rid of that. Let's make a new replit. Gonna call it Doodle Jump, whatever you want. I have switched to dark mode today because you can't see my mouse very well, so I thought I'd stick it on that. And we're going to get rid of all this rubbish, don't need any of this stuff. And we'll get straight into it. So first things first, we're going to make some global variables. Now I will say that just making global variables all the time is very, very bad practice in terms of if you're doing a project or coursework or anything like that and you're getting judged or scored on your coding ability, then there is an issue there. But if I'm being completely honest with you, if you're making a game that's as simple as these tutorials, then that's probably not the best thing to do anyway. And what I mean by that is you should have a game that's got classes in. I've covered classes in another video. Your game should have encapsulated classes, so private variables, local variables. You should have plenty of functions. You can have loading screens. You're going to have menus. So if I'm being honest with you, this basic tutorial is absolutely fine. Then obviously make local variables, parameters in functions, that kind of thing. But as I said, we'll just go in with the very basics, making a nice little game. So we're going to go P5 play, and we're going to get the import script. We're going to go into our index, and we're going to replace that there, so it's nice and imported. And we're going to make some variables. So we're going to have let ground floor, believe it or not, that's for the bottom floor. We're going to have one for the player. We're going to have one for the floors, and we're going to need a score. So we'll put score into there, but we're not going to touch that for a long time. We're going to make a canvas. Now I'm going to make mine 400 by 600, mainly so you can see it. And then I'm just going to go straight off the bat and clear the background and add in a nice black background so you can just see how big your screen is. So I've got a little problem there already, so we're already got to a great start, and let's go spell background wrong. There we go, nice and fixed. There we go, all good. And there we go, we're sorted. So we need some gravity first because we don't want our guy to fall down. So we're going to do wild.gravity.y equals 10. You can change that if you want. And we're going to make the floor. So we're going to say ground floor equals a new sprite. Now I want that to be made at 0. So on this left hand side, I want it to be made at the height. Take away 20. This could be a variable instead of 20 for your floor size, let's say. But it doesn't really matter. We can change it at the end. And then the width times 2, just so it's for completely filling the page. I want it to be 20 pixels tall, and I want it to be static, so I should run that. And we should get a nice little thing at the bottom. There we go, that's our floor. Nice and sorted. Now we can make our player. That's going to be a sprite as well. So a new sprite. And now for our sprite, I want to spawn it halfway down the page, our screen. I'm going to do height, take away 100. Maybe it shouldn't be 100, but just to make sure it spawns properly. And then I'm going to have it 10 by 10 for now. I want that one to be a dynamic collider, so it adheres to the gravity. So it spawns and drops there. There we go. So we've got our guy sorted. So we're doing pretty well so far. Now because we're dynamic, when we hit things, we're going to spin around. So we're going to lock our rotation first. So we're just going to say rotation lock equals true. And then that's it for now. Might want to put a picture in there later on, like in my example. We'll look at that in a minute. So now we're going to make a new group. So we're going to say floors equals a new group, like that. And we're going to leave it as it is for now. We're not going to set anything just yet. Probably could set the height and things like that and the width, but it doesn't really matter. Now we're going to do a for loop. So I want to start off with 10 floors. Okay, so let I equals 0. I is less than 10. I plus plus. And then we're going to make a new variable, which is going to be, this is a local variable, so this is better practice. Instead of making, I'm going to call it F for floor, if I put that at the top, that would be bad practice. So yeah, so let F equals a new floors dot sprite, like that. And I'm going to say the width, so F dot width equals what? Let's say a random between 20 and 100. You can change this. This is just how wide it's going to be. F.h equals 20 because the height is always going to be the same size. You can change that at random if you want. Entirely up to you. The collider though is going to be static, so you don't want it to move. And the x position is going to be random of the width. Now for now I'm just going to say divide by 2, so it's going to be around here somewhere. So it's going to be sort of more on the left. I could do it width if I wanted to. Maybe see how that looks. And then what I'm going to do is do f.y. It's going to be the player's y position. Take away, then I'm just going to do I times 50. Just so the first one's going to be 50 pixels, then 100 and so on, things like that. So if I run that, we should have a bunch of platforms, which is excellent. That's worked. And that's pretty much our setup sorted. So now we're going to head down into the draw. What we're going to do is we're going to there's some camera work I want to do with it and things like that, but we're just going to do the controls for now. So I'm going to say if, let's get it in the right place there. That'd be a good idea, wouldn't it? So let's just zoom down a little bit. I'm just going to zoom in slightly just so you can see it a bit better. So if kb dot, I'm pressing, not presses, pressing the A key, then I just want to subtract. I'm going to go left, so I'm just going to do player dot x minus equals 1. Again, that could be something specific you want to do for yours. You might want to move 5 pixels. I'm just doing 1 for now just to get it working. Then I'm going to do else if kb dot press in, so the opposite, which is d. I'm going to add to the x, so player dot x plus equals 1. Okay, now I'm going to do a separate if, not an else if kb dot presses, not pressing, presses space. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to change the velocity. So I'm going to do player dot vel dot y minus equals 10. Okay, so that should be absolutely fine. I should be able to move left, move right. I should be able to jump. Now at the moment, I can just keep pressing space and go off the screen. So we are going to do some additional conditions in that space thing. So we're going to jump if we're touching the floor. But for now, in fact, you know what? Let's do it now. Let's do it now. So if I'm touching space and I'm touching or colliding with the floor, so that's these things up here, or, which is the pipe. Apparently I've changed the language on something. Interesting. And then I'm going to say ground floor. So if I'm touching the floor or the floors and I'm pressing space, I can jump. So now if I press space, spamming doesn't do anything. If I touch the floor, it works. If I touch this floor, I can jump. I can fall off. See, I'm not rotating because I've got the rotation lock off. On, sorry. And then I can jump. Maybe I'm slightly, well, I should have gone the other way, shouldn't I, really? But, that's working. That's looking good. Hitting there, and then at the top. So that's the majority of the game's done now. Now, what we want to do now is make it so we dynamically spawn some floors. So we make a function called spawn floors. And what this is going to do is basically when we get so far up the screen, it's going to spawn some more stuff. So function spawn floors like that. Now I'm going to say make another local variable equals a new floors.sprite. Just want to make 1 for now. I think let's think what's the condition we need. So how I'm thinking is basically when I get to this one or possibly this one, I want to start spawning things in front of us. So I'm going to put an if in there. I'm going to say if the player dot y is less than, now because floors acts like an array, sorry. Length minus 1. I'm going to look at the very second to last sprite, look at its y position. If I've got past it, then I want to make this new floor sprite. Okay. Now, obviously, at the minute, we need to actually do something with it. So it's going to be exactly the same code from the start here, with some slight changes. So I've made F. Let's get them all in line so it looks nice. There we go. However, my X and random width, that's fine. And instead of I times 50, I'm just going to do a random number between 50 and 100, like that. I think the rest of it is pretty much fine. So let's see if that works. In fact, I'm going to make it, check it works by just doing the -5th one, just so we can see it spawn, see if it works. Okay, so at a certain point, see it's spawning more. Now obviously it's spawning in the wrong place because I'm looking down here when I should be looking up there. So put that back to -1, but that's worked now. That's absolutely perfect. So, well, perfect's maybe a bit big-headed, let's say. So what I want to do is just to make it a little bit more difficult. I'm going to make myself some room. I'm going to turn the camera on, and what I'm going to do is make the camera follow the player. So camera.x equals player.x, camera.y equals player.y, camera.zoom equals 2, let's say. So we're going to zoom in double. So when I do this, it zooms in a lot more. I can then jump my way up like that, and then hopefully there you go, it's in the spawn there, and then it's probably to my left. There we go. So now I can carry on playing the game as normal. So that's I'd say that's 99% of the game done. Now alternatively, what I've done in the past when I made a similar game, when I was helping the student out, was I had it so it constantly spawned them with like varying widths and stuff. However, thinking about things like RAM and memory and things like that, it's going to be taking up a lot of memory if it's constantly spawning stuff all the time if you're nowhere near it. So this one's a little bit more dynamic. It's a little bit less memory intensive, so it should be a little bit better really. So that's all that. Now let's worry about the score. So we've got score here 0. Now possibly a little bit of a cheat here, but we'll see what you think. You might have a better idea. I'm sure you will. So I'm going to say if player.y is greater than 0, because at the minute we're spawning and it's going to be like 500 you score, and then we're going to be going minus because we're going upwards. So your Y position, you're going to start off with like 500 score, and you're going to go to 0, and then you're going to go to negative, which isn't ideal. So I'm just going to say if you're a positive number, so if play.y is greater than 0, score is going to stay at 0. Otherwise, what we're going to do is score is going to be rounded down your Y position, player.y times -1, because what that's going to do is that's going to make it the negative a positive. Okay, then let's just get it so we can see it. So I'm going to turn the camera off here. So camera.off like that. And then before I do all this stuff, camera.on. And now here I'm just going to do all my text stuff. So I'm going to say text size is 50. I'll just do it white, so fill 255 for white, and then I'm going to say text, which is going to be score, and then let's just do it at 50-50. The reason why I'm turning the camera off is that I wanted to draw it here, then turn the camera on and zoom in, so it always shows it here, basically in the corner. So now when I run, this is some error, which possibly is. There's a bracket somewhere I've missed, so 37, missed a bracket there, so something like that. So hopefully that's going to work now. So I've got this little 0 here, so I'm going to jump up. Hopefully I'll get some points in a minute. Ugh, I'm doing so bad. So there we go, see I'm getting a score now. So it's almost like you don't get any points just for starting off. Yeah, there's probably a better way of doing that. You could probably think of something better. And then I don't know if you might want to have like a high score, so if I get really high and fall down I don't lose all my points, but again that's up to you how you want to improve your game a little bit further. Ooh. Now there are some other things you might want to do to extend the game, other than make it look nicer. You might possibly want to make it so when you hit, you can go through it and then land on it. I don't actually like that mechanic personally. I think it makes it too easy, but that's what the other student did. So just essentially all you do for that is if your Y position is more than the block you're touching, the floor you're touching, then you set your collider to go through it. So you put no collider on and then you just have the collider once you get past it. That's what we did for that one. It's not the best way because there was some glitchy bits, but that pretty much works. So next what I want to do is I have in my downloads got this thing called Purple Blob, which is this little dude here. So what I might want to do is do player.x image equals purple blob still.png. I think it'd be too big, so I think I need to scale him down. There he is. So I can just do player.scale equals, I don't know, it's half a size, so scale it down by 0.5. So we've got a little dude. Now obviously a better way even more than this would be putting an animated sprite on there, and loading it in the preload function, so it doesn't have that bit at the start of the game where it's blank, you can't see anything. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Ooh, a bit high that one. Ooh, I lost. Oh well. So that's pretty much the game. Obviously additional things, music. Now I've not looked at music before, so if I go to, it's not the best website for it, if I'm honest with you. Ben Sound is good for sort of music in the background and things like that, but nothing particularly, if I'm honest with you, gamey or 8-bit or anything like that. See what I mean? It's all a bit. We'll go with that one just because it sounds happy. So once that's downloaded, which is still downloading, so what we're gonna do is we can say let music. Let's do it properly. So we'll do function preload, and then what we'll do is we'll do let music, let blob equals load image. If I spell it right, good idea, wouldn't it? So pop that in there, and then we'll just put that as blob, and we can load that image in, so we don't have to worry about it. Then we can say music equals. Was that downloaded? No, let's just try again. Oof, don't want to buy it. I'm way too cheap for that. There we go. So it's hey.mp3. So music equals load sound hey.mp3, and then we can just say when you start playing the game. So for this one, there's no menu, so we can just do play sound music, and then we just need to upload that to our project like that. So just give it a chance, and then sorry if it's really loud. So it's loading the stuff, so it's taking a little bit longer. Play sound. I'm pretty sure it's play sound. Is it just play? I think it's just. I'm sure it's just play sound. Is it just play? I'm pretty sure it's. Oh, there we go. It was play. There we go. That was really loud. Sorry about that. But that's it. So we've got our Doodle Jump game working. We've replaced the player character with a sprite. Obviously, we could replace those platforms with some more sprites. We could add a moving sprite with animation. If you look at my previous video, we have got some sound in there. So really, if you've looked through all the videos, which I really hope you have, then what you could do is add the menu. So you can show your instructions, play, quit, all them bits. You can have a nice loading screen. So what you do for loading screen really, you can just essentially do the same thing as menu, but just have like a loading menu where it just plays animation for a little bit. So you know, like a playable loading screen, it's always quite fun. One of the first animated loading screens I saw was a game called Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, where it said loading, but it had fire around it. And the way you moved your controller with the analog sticks, it moved where the fire was facing, which is quite cool. We then added some sound and got a simple game working. So hopefully you enjoyed that. Hopefully it was nice and easy. And please like and subscribe. I really am trying to grow the channel. As requested, there'd be a face reveal. There's a bit of a face reveal already there, but a full-on face reveal. I might even think about having myself actually being filmed whilst doing this. I might even do some like different styles of content and things like that. Because obviously there are some projects that I do for myself. So I might look at some of the bigger games, bigger programs, more unique programs, rather than just things that are already out. But yeah, so please like and subscribe. I really want to get to that 1,000. I really want to get my views up. It'd be lovely if I had 1,000, 2,000 views per video. Slowly getting there, but make sure you're subscribing. So thanks a lot, and I will see you in the next video.